So without further ado, I'm Mitropoulos.
Thank you, Jeff. Thanks, mate. Hello, everyone. You've learned heaps today, haven't you, already? What have you learned? What have you learned?
Is that a trick question?
No, it's a real question. I just took a few little notes, right? Like how do you lose weight? Stop putting it on. Why am I not energetic, confident, and strong? Like you remember Fiona was talking about things? Why am I not, the other speaker, remember Fiona? Yeah, why am I not energetic, confident, and strong? She said, like, it's how we feel inside that affects us, if we're positive, and all those sorts of things. We can do amazing things, right? Well, the answer would be this, right? Like, assuming everyone here was lacking some drive or motivation to do something special with their lives. Like today, you might be motivated as a result of me, or Ian, or Fiona, or Anthony, or Jeff, or each other. After everything that you've heard, you might be motivated to do something extra special. But there's one thing that stops you. What do you think it is? Starts with a Y and ends with you. Yeah, you're the only person. You're in total control of your own destiny. So let's say I gave you all an envelope, and in that envelope there's an answer as to why you cannot do what you deep down want to do. How would that change the outcome of the decision that you need to make in your head? Would it? If you had the answer as to why you can't do something, would that make any difference at all at the end of the day? A yes or a no, please? Nah. Because you know what happens if you were given the answer by someone like me, deep down in your heart you go, geez, that's true. But I don't want to believe that. I don't want to accept that. So hopefully today, at the end of this, you might begin to accept those answers, right? And just be brutal. As I say, be brutally honest with yourself and just accept it. And then if you accept those answers, you can do incredible things. Doctors, big question mark. What do they do? What does a doctor do? Sorry? I'm sick, I go to the doctor. What do? Prescribe. Well, they try and treat you, don't they? How? How do they treat you? Medicine, prescription, which are called what? Drugs, right? What else can they do? They perform a procedure. There's a treatment, so it could be an operation. Basically, all they do is they cut, join. I mean, I'm talking about the big blanket of doctors, like surgeons. Cut, join, or whatever. You know, they cut something, take it out, put something back in, sew it up, join it up, and let the body do its job. Cool? I've got cancer now. How do I treat cancer? Kill it. Chemotherapy, all this money we spend in cancer, where does it end up? In learning techniques how to be more accurate with a magnifying glass with light passing through it, so we can concentrate a beam of light to a small enough area so we kill only the cancer cells. Did you understand that? Chemotherapy is basically concentrated energy in a spot, but a cell's pretty small. Can I kill one cell? Sorry? Nah, I can't kill one cell. I can kill that cell, probably a few other around it. Most people, when they're treated with, chemotherapy, etc., and if they were to die, usually do not die from the cancer. I'll say that again. People who have cancer and are treated for cancer, and if they were to die, do not die from the cancer. What do they die from? Something else, like if you hit the liver and the liver dies, well then you don't live. The cancer is still there, like you've killed the cancer, yeah, but there's a cost. So some areas we just can't get to. So the point I'm trying to say is that, let's look behind the lines. Let's try and understand a little bit more. And like today, everyone's here, like it's really good. You're in the industry, I'm assuming. Like I'm going to ask that in a very short moment. This is just my intro. I haven't even started talking yet, but just that I heard all this stuff and I just get motivated. I want to talk, right? Know this. I wrote this while I was sitting down. So, wherever you are in life, whatever you have, and whatever you do not have is because you want it. Where you are right now is because of you. You make the choices every single moment of the day. You're making the choice now to listen to me, bear with me, agree with me, disagree with me. Whatever it is that you're doing, you're making these choices. You're considering everything. You are judging me right now like there's no tomorrow. But that's how we are, right? But wherever you go with this, whatever you learned from Angelo, you did a great job, Angelo. Yeah? Fiona and Ian, right? It's up to you to do something with it. How many times have you been to something like this and we do nothing with it? Think about it. Well, make today a special day and do something with it, okay? So, you talk yourself into things that you want to do and out of things that you don't want to do. Have I agreed? Like, do you agree with me there? Who's got an old car? Who's got a new car? How old's your old car? Right? Decades ago we'd have an old car, it'd be 20 years old, we wouldn't change it. Do you remember the council tip? Like, we've all been kids, right? It was council time to throw out all the rubbish, right? And you go to throw out all the rubbish and the parents would go, no, you don't put that out, that's still fine. Now we just don't like something. Oh, look, there's Jeff. Oh, sorry, Jeff, I didn't mean that. There's a chair. Let's throw that out. I would never throw Jeff out. Right? It's an old chair. We don't use it anymore. It's old. It's out of fashion. Let's get rid of it. That's the attitude we have, right? So believe me, you talk yourself into and out of that. Just like anything you choose to do in life, I know I'm talking about a chair now or rubbish, but apply that to your life every single day of your life. Believe me, you're making decisions based on emotion, based on things that you like and dislike, and you talk yourself into the things that you like and out of things that you don't like. Do we agree with that? Yes? Good. And, okay. Another thing that I was interested in is that, and this is more, like I wish I heard all this today and I go, geez, I should have talked about all the things I do with health rather than what I'm about to talk about. So I just want to touch one last thing. Consider this. Why is it that we have tension in the body? Why is it that we need to use, sorry Anthony, a roller? It's a great thing, it does a great job. Why does the tension keep coming back? It's a whole lot of things, isn't it? Does the body heal itself? You bet you it does. It's what you do every single day using this and this and this little thing in here that contributes to that. So I heard a question before, does how we feel affect tension in the body or something like that before? You bet you it does. Of course it does. Right? So consider all of that, right? We're doing things 24 hours a day, aren't we? We're either sleeping 8 hours, playing 8 hours, or working 8 hours. The attitude we have towards our work, if we don't like it, or the people we're around, etc., will affect us. And that all contributes. I say this, change your mind first. You can do it today. It takes 1/360,000th of 1 second to change your mind. Change your body next, and then your life will change forever. Do that every single day and you'll be fine. Don't take this personally, right? But if you were to die today, you wouldn't know it. Everyone else around you would, but you would not know it. Think about that for a tick. I've had people very close to me pass, and they did not know it. I've been there when I watched someone pass. They did not know it, but I did, and everyone else around them did. So think about that for a moment, right? Think very, very carefully, right? You've got this moment to do something special in your life. I'm Mitropoulos. I'm an ordinary person doing extraordinary things. That's my intro. So how was that? Yeah. Okay, Jeff wrote some stuff for me. I've been really busy lately doing some pretty amazing things. And so Jeff took all this stuff off our internet stuff and put together a bit of a profile. I'll hand this out to you at the end of the day, so you'll have one yourself. And it says, Mitropoulos will show you exactly what he does to help his clients and patients without lifting a finger anymore. That's true. That's true. So my story, once upon a time, there was a man called Con and a woman called Nikki. That's my other half. Nikki, we've been married for 400,000 years. As you can see, I'm a bit of a fossil. I'm not the youngest person in the world, but I'm still around. And we had a dream. a dream to do something incredible. We want to change the world. I want to change the world. I've wanted to change the world for a very long time. And I know I can do it, and I'm doing it right now. So yes, I can see one person or two people or people in a room. I can see them sitting down in my classes that I run still at home because I just can't get rid of people, right? Which, I mean, I love the people, but I just said, like, I'm only effective as much as I can being there, but I'm a dynamic individual. I've got a lot of energy, and I'm driven to do something, and I hope you become a bit more driven from the energy that I have. And the more people I get in front of, the more energetic. I just want to rip my shirt off now. No, the more energetic I become. Yeah, I have a lot of energy when it comes to that. And believe me, when you do that to someone else, you get it back. So you're going to learn a few very unique things today as to what I do, which do not make sense to the average person. Unless you can walk to the edge of a cliff, just step off and believe. Because if you believe you're going to be fine, you will. Chances are you won't, right? But let's just say, if you believe in something enough, it just happens. Because you attract whatever you need. And I'm talking from experience. My experience might not be yours, but I guarantee you this. If you believe for one moment in something, and you give it everything you've got, because if you believe, you will, rather than doubt. Maybe you talk yourself into things, talk yourself out of things. If you truly believe it, it just happens. It's a miracle. So, we've been told today, according to the little introduction I had through all the stuff I'm supposed to be talking about, that I'm going to do 5 things for you today. The first thing I'm going to do is you're going to learn one super source, whatever that means. The one super source for clients, leads, and fame that most businesses have no idea about. I'll be talking about that today. One super source. The top secrets at online superstars, apparently I'm an online superstar, right? Are using, which is true, right? The one top secret, the top secrets that, I'm reading Jeff's words, right? The top secrets that online superstars are using to send floods of traffic to any site in the world, and how you can use it to position your practice right in front of highly targeted prospects. So there's a way that you can generate more business if that's what you want. And everyone hears this, right? But I do it passively. Like right now, I'm earning income. And I don't sell anything. Sounds good, eh? How you should choose your video and audio equipment, because you're going to learn a little bit about what I do. Get this wrong and your viewers will run screaming from your videos. The way I communicate is very different to the way I used to communicate. The way the television communicates to you is very different to the way it used to. The way film communicates to you when you watch a movie is very different to the way it used to. Like it has changed, and you're going to learn all that today. And the exact, highly appealing, proving method of making money. This is my one, right? Doing what you are passionate about and giving it all away for free. Everything I do it for free. No catches. Think about that for a tick. How does that happen? Well, you're going to learn that today, and it's all for free. Oh, my bit anyway. I'm sure Jeff. Shit, that's my phone. Hang on. I better just put it on silent. Yeah. So, and also how to share your knowledge and skills with the world from the comfort of your own home. So they're the things we're supposed to be talking about today. So I'm just going to start covering that. What Nikki and I do, Nikki and I started a while back, is I started writing a book on, I called it The Power of the Pause. And like this, imagine you took your life right now and took a photo. That is where your life is right now. In your business, so let's say your focus here today is what? What did you come here today to do? To learn? Learn what? Skills, new skills. What else did you come to learn? Did you know I was talking today? You would have if you read the stuff that Jeff sent you. What do you think was in that? Maybe how to make more money easily, expanding your business somehow, effortlessly, sharing your knowledge easily, and getting money for it. What I've done is I started off doing a little video. I got in front of a camera and I videotaped myself doing a workout. Then we videotaped ourselves cooking. Then we videotaped ourselves doing tutorial videos on how to do something. Then we taped ourselves on a thing called the Con-Nicky TV show, Con and Nicky. And then we did a video on, and that's 5. Oh yeah, on Teen Muscle TV. So we also created another thing for the teenagers. And what happened is we started producing these videos. And shortly afterwards, because the content was good and I learned how to do videos better and better. And believe me, it's got nothing to do with putting a camera there and you just moving in front of it. It's about editing and really cutting stuff really tight, making it entertaining, constantly moving and getting straight to the point. That's what it's all about. So I did all that, and what happened after a few videos, Google contacted us. Now Google owns YouTube. And they said, geez, we love your stuff because it's free, right? And our stuff gets watched, not a little bit. This isn't a click and, oh, there's a video. They watch it front to back. And they said, geez, we'd like to partner with you. Not just your video, you. We said, wow, that's a great idea. Then this can happen to you too. You can do this today. So they partnered with us. So we went under the band of me and YouTube, right? Walking around, this is my best mate now, right? Now what happened is they put advertisements on our videos. You know, McDonald's advertisements, KFC, only joking, they didn't put that on there. But advertisements. Now the people who watch our videos are very targeted. So if you look at the advertiser, let's say it was Angelo selling a foam roller to people that work out. How targeted is that? So Angelo would go to Google, pay a little bit of money and say, anytime someone searches on this word, I want my ad to play. And let's say my video happens to have that word in it somewhere, either in the title or in the description or the keywords that I put on there that you type in to find it. Well, guess what happens? His ad plays while it's down there. But not just any ad, we now have the highest paying ads. So if your content is good, if you do something that's good, and you can, everything you do is good because there's only one of you. There's only one of me. So we're not in competition with one another. I learned that a long time ago. I give my stuff away absolutely for free because I create it. So if I want more, I just make another one. If I want something different, I just change it slightly. I don't do the same thing over and over again. I constantly change. So the ad plays on the video, and as it plays on the video, you can choose to watch it or not. And if you don't want to watch it, you don't have to. So you win. The fact that it's on my video, I win anyway. If you watch it all the way through, I win a little bit more. And the person watching your video, you for example, you get the information for nothing. So who wins now? You're watching the video for nothing. You learn how to use a foam roller. By the way, I've just released 30 videos on how to use a foam roller today, and they're all for free. Only joking, Angelo. Right? So imagine that you get that for nothing. So you win. Right? The advertiser wins because they've got ads. So Angelo's got his ads, running to people like you who are interested in watching that video. So he wins because he's getting the ads directly targeted to people. Who loses? No one. So that's what we've done. We've gone and created these videos, have partnered with YouTube, and we earn an income on that. Since then, we've had other opportunities. People want us to hold a Gym Boss timer. A little timer. Tick, 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 at times, right? Oh, that's 20 seconds. Good, we're going to do push-ups now. After 10 seconds of that, we're going to jump over and do lunges. Oh, but the special lunges, Angelo. And it just keeps timing back and forth. So what happens, you're interested in that. In the description, there's a little link. You click on the link, takes you to the Gym Boss timer people. If you buy it, they send us money. Simple. Since doing all that, we've had a network, a television station overseas contact us and said, geez, we like your stuff, because if you see our Con-Nicky TV show, it is pretty controversial, and we just talk about anything, all sorts of things. So I'll sit there and we'll do a video. My wife's super dynamic as well, and believe me, we weren't comfortable in front of a camera, but we became comfortable in front of a camera. We just became ourselves. You learn that people are judging you all the time anyway. They just can't tell you. Because you wouldn't, would you? Are you going to say something bad about me when I'm here in front of you? You might, but highly unlikely. But when you're behind a keyboard, yeah, you can. You know, so there's that, you have to overcome that little barrier as well. You understand? So when people are judging you the whole time and you think about that, that might be one of the things that holds you back. But if you've got something to offer, why wouldn't you just record it, put it on a video and throw it out there? And if you're passionate about it, you do a second one and a third one. And before you know it, a lot of people are actually watching it, paying attention, sharing it with their friends. People are learning. Everyone's feeling better. Isn't that a great thing to do? Yeah? So how can we make what we've done, which has been incredibly successful on YouTube, now be taken up by Google, and now a television station who said to us, can you make us 18 episodes, because we want to run one season. So Nick and I sat there and go, we need to make 18 episodes. So we sat down, okay, episode 1's going to be this. We just sit down and we just do it. Now where do we do it? In our home. We might put a green screen. Did everyone know what a green screen is? It's a screen that's green. Yeah, but when you stand in front of the green screen, yeah, and you videotape, you can then put a background, so you replace the green with anything that you want. So we can be in space, I can videotape you guys and put you in the background, and I could be floating in front of you. Pretend I'm sitting down. It's entertaining. It's all techniques and all the little tricks of the trade that we have. And we do that in our garage. I can do that sitting in front of my iMac. We can be on our lounge. It doesn't matter. It's about being yourself. Just be yourself. And you've all got something unique to offer. Since doing our television stations, right, the episodes on the TV station, we've been contracted to do more. So we do it more. They pay us to do that. That's good, but that takes time. Since then, we've had, YouTube is the largest video distribution website on the planet. Second largest is a company called Dailymotion, and they're in Paris. Well, guess what? They knocked on our door too and said, hey, we saw the stuff you do, can we partner with you? Sure. So they partnered with us as well. So the same video goes to YouTube, and guess where else it goes? Dailymotion, correct. Goes to Dailymotion. So there's another income stream. But we're not trying. Like, I'm doing it anyway. We do it anyway, right? Earlier this year, everyone heard of PwC, Price Waterhouse and Coopers? Right, they are the largest accountancy firm on the planet. It's just a book, right? Now, what they do, they produce a book which goes worldwide. This book costs $9,000. It's actually the data in it, which is really important. $9,000. I have 2 copies. I didn't have to pay for it, of course. But what's in here are predictions over the next 5 years as to where the internet's going, where television is going, where paid TV is going, where radio's going, newspapers, magazines, etc. And here we are today, sitting down, playing with paper and doing it the old way. You have an opportunity right now, if you read this data, it will show you that it is growing. And with the use of something like this, a phone which has HD quality cameras, which we can play with later if you want. Does anyone not want to be on TV today? Excellent. Only joking now. Now we can do a video that I can record right now, and I can then upload this video to YouTube, and then people can watch it. And if you happen to be partnered with YouTube, you can earn income on it. But I know that. So if there's something that you do which is special or repetitive, why not learn how to convert it from the way you do it into simple step form? You might, for example, turn around and talk about your great experience that you had using a roller. And you might have an example of a client that has a particular problem. And you get straight into it, nice and tight, and you explain how you use the roller to fix the problem doing a 30-second little exercise. That's going to be of benefit to someone. And before you know it, YouTube might knock on your door, or you can apply, and they'll put videos on your your, advertisements on your video. And you earn income from that. Because that's where it's going. Oh, that's us, by the way. Right? If you look at the data on here, the predicted growth on internet is huge, but it's on this device, the phone. You know, like, everyone watches a video. Who here has been to YouTube and looked at videos? Everyone? How long do you watch for? Not long. You click it, if it's interesting and it gets you, you watch it. But how about TV? You'll sit in front of a TV for half an hour or an hour, won't you? Because you're used to the ads. They run for so many minutes, the thing that you're watching, and then all these ads pop up. And you watch them, but the ads are all different ads, aren't they? Ads that you might not be interested in. You might not be interested in a new car, or a holiday, or some can of, cherry-flavoured Coke that's coming out. So, but you've still been brainwashed to actually watch it. But on YouTube, the ad is targeted. And believe this, everything that you type into your computer right now, whether it's on an email, a search on a Google page, or any other search engine, is being recorded. And then when you go and do something on the internet, ads pop up that are very similar to the things that you've been searching for. They all know. What's going to happen next? Can someone give me an example of something that they searched on the internet just recently? Anything? I need one person. Sorry?
Dry needling.
Dry needling. Okay. What is dry needling?
Acupuncture needle going into the muscle.
Okay. Let's say you're walking down, are you from Sydney? Okay, let's say you're walking down George Street one day. And as you're walking down George Street one day, you happen to be walking nearby a needling place. All right? I'll just replace that example with clothing for a sec. Right? So that's a great example, but let's say you're looking for a particular dress. Right? Or a particular pair of pants or something. And it is Christmas, so we're looking for presents. And you're searching on that. They know it's you because you have a unique IP address as to where you are. Your phone is also connected to you. And if you're doing those searches and your phone happens to reside at your address, they know it's you. So you're walking down George Street past, what is it, 9 West or some shop like that sells women's clothing. And as you're walking past that store, they know that they have an ad running on the internet because they pay for Google AdWords. Google now clicks, he goes, okay, I'm near a hotspot. These people run an ad. This person has searched for this. It links the two together and you get an alert on your phone. If you come into 9 West right now, we'll give you 5% off your first purchase. And if you buy today, 2 items, we're going to give you 15%. That's going to pop up on your phone. It's happening right now, like very soon in Australia. I've seen 1 or 2 ads pop up, but it will be happening. In the US it's happening, and Europe, but Australia's coming very soon. That is going to happen right now. And you've got this thing going to be going off like crazy. Yeah, but it's happening anyway. Yeah, that's right. It is happening. So that means there's a big opportunity. So let's say your practice is in a physical location, which it is, I assume. Or will you work from a particular address, your home or someplace? And let's say it's your business. Does everyone here have their own business? Yeah. Well, if you pay for Google AdWords, instead of advertising via print, radio and all that sort of stuff, you advertise via Google AdWords. They're predicting a 12% growth in Australia each year compounded. The next closest growth in anything, believe it or not, is, I can pull it up for you exactly, but it's like 3% on anything else, on any of the other forms of media. So it's rapidly growing. So when someone happens to be in the area and they live in your suburb, because obviously your business will be territory based, which means I'm not going to come from eastern suburbs to someone in Sutherland unless they're really special, right? But traditionally, the people that come to you for work, for therapy, will be in your local area or within driving distance. If you do ads on Google AdWords and they search it, guess who pops up? You do. And that's how you get the business. Now, if you happen to also produce a video, or have some other form of marketing or a website, for example, that's linked to you, it scores higher up the rank in Google. So if you produce one video, Google knows that you produce one video, you score higher up. If you have a website and the names are the same, so using the same keywords, you score higher up. So it's about, think of this, you become like a bubble in a little glass of mineral water. You want your bubble to be higher up than everyone else's. And so it is really survival of the fittest in that way. And that's where it's going. So it's good to learn all this stuff today, but wouldn't it be great to be able to apply it just a little bit better? So not just to your clients, maybe you can talk about a case study and talk about person X or person Y. You might pull out a roller or some other device that you saw today and do a little demonstration. You might not want to give away too much info because you still want people to come to you. I don't have that attitude. I give it all away and it works incredibly well for us. But you might want to be a little bit more careful. It will help you down the track. And if you are consistent in what you do and produce heaps and heaps of videos like we have, we've done over 700 videos, right? And we'll have over 850 by the end of next year, which are no effort. We just pull up a video anywhere we go and talk about things and do exercises all the time. We never run out of examples. Well, that frequency makes you a bigger bubble in that glass that helps you float to the top, and you become the cream of the crop, and you get more of the advertising dollar. So there's an interesting way, isn't it, of how to expand your business. How do you do it now? How do you get more clients? Word of mouth. Do you want to continue working hands-on all the time? Wouldn't it be great just to, if the stuff that you do that is replicated in some way, that you might be able to automate it in some way? So it creates you an income. Now I know at the moment you might go, geez, I can't sit in front of a camera, but you can. You do it anyway. Everyone's got Facebook now, like you've all been broken in. We did this before Facebook started coming up. You know, let's take a photo. You know, everyone smiles, you get prepared for it. It's about being yourself. Don't try and be anyone else, just be yourself. And before you know it, there will only be one person like you. There is an audience that wants to watch you. There is someone out there that wants to watch you. There's millions of people out there. There is. Everyone thinks that that what they do is not. Yeah, you don't. Yeah, see, these are all the limitations that we all have and go through. But yeah, I hate Facebook too. I'm never on it. It's just that, you know, all our stuff gets posted, but our stuff is posted automatically. I'll give you a copy of our website. You can go to it. We're called Koniki TV, Con and Nikki TV. And there's a .com and a .tv and a .everything else. We've got them all, right? So you'll be able to see all our videos, and you'll see just how sharp the editing is. So we get straight to the point with stuff. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of a quick rundown as to the way in which we suggest you do it. Okay, so the one super source that I'm talking about that Jeff brought up was YouTube, the World Wide Web, and a website. Does anyone here not have a website? If you don't, you might want to consider getting one pretty quick, right? And just post to it. It could be a blog. Think of one thing you did today that was of interest, to you, and just talk about it. Forget about me, what I think of what you do. It's what you think of what you do, because then you never run out of material. And like I said before, there are millions of people that want to see you. You might think nice. Look at me. You say, look, oh, I'm not young or pretty or, built like some, superstar, but you are to someone. And there's plenty of people like that. And you'll be surprised. We've had incredible success purely because we believe in what we do. We are passionate about what we do. And we do not do it for money. We don't do it for the money. The money just comes. If you focus on the money, you will fail because your motivation will quickly wane. Motivation, motive for action. What's your motive to get something back? Fiona spoke about intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation. What is that? What is extrinsic motivation? No one knows. See, we use the words, but we have no idea what they mean. What's intrinsic? Okay, this is an example. Extrinsic motivation is when you get something out of it. So you're in a running race, you come first, you get a reward. You get a trophy. So you're intrinsically motivated to have a piece of plastic that says that you are number one. Or you win the $10,000 prize for being first. That's extrinsically motivated. Look at any athlete that makes it to the top. Where do they go after they get to the top? They come back down again, don't they? Because it's hard to stay there because you lose. Like when you've got everything that you could ever possibly want, what else can you possibly want? More of that. And when you realise that the law of diminishing returns comes into life, which says, if I gave you an ice cream cone and you licked it, you go, wow, that was a beautiful ice cream cone. Yeah, have a second one. After a while, that second one isn't as good as the first. That's called the law of diminishing returns. So extrinsic motivation is when you get something back that you want, a physical thing. What's intrinsic motivation? It makes you feel good. This is undying. When you work, do you genuinely enjoy what you do? Like seriously? What? Like seriously, do you? Has anyone ever farted when you work on them? Do you enjoy that? No, but just saying, so there are goods and bads to everything that we do, right? But what I'm saying to you is that do you truly finish your day and go, wow, that was awesome? Do you ever get tired of working? If you do what you love. Like adjust what you do in your day. Aim to what you should be doing. Do what really turns you on. Learn to say no. When people want to come to me and see me, I have a 2-hour interview process. I don't actually specify 2 hours, but for some reason, every time I sit down with someone, it takes 2 hours to talk to them. And a lot of times I say no, because I know deep down in my heart, when I look at the person, I look into their eyes, and I'm trained in NLP, which is neuro-linguistic program, so I can use my mouth, I can use my words, I can make you think whatever I want, and I can steer you one way or steer you another way. And of course, I don't use that for my own personal benefit, but I do use that to find the truth. And believe me, when you're lying, I know. So all of you who are lying, be honest. No. So with all that ability of being able to effectively communicate, I can determine whether or not you are genuine, honest, sincere. Some people just want me to do what I do because we have done incredible things when it comes to what our business is. We've started off as personal trainers, but we have cured incredible diseases. And I know that sounds crazy, but they're factual. But if I get up in front of a camera and say, hey, I just cured someone who has diabetes or cardiomyopathy or who's been lying flat on a bed for 8 months, unable to feel any needles going into their legs. You know, like we've had people with really bad, let's say, blood pressure that's been so bad that their veins are popping out through like extreme varicose veins in the legs. And I've got photos that show how they've reversed back. We've had people that lose half their weight. So 140 kilos, we're talking about a lot of weight, 140 down to 70. By enjoying the diet that they're on. Explain that. But the thing is, if you're not ready to do it, if you are not ready to do it, you will not do it. As I said to you before how I started, if I gave you the answer to the problem, you're just not going to believe it. And if you don't want to do it, you're going to talk yourself out of it. But believe me, when your back's up against the wall and you genuinely want something, you will find a reason to talk yourself into it and do it. But you want to do that before it's too late. All right? So we go through this little interview process. And at the end of that process, which is how I run my business, right? Which I choose to only work 3 days a week, Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, in those people at set times. Because I've had these people for how many years? And then what happens is that they bring someone else and we solve their problems and then they go away. But we've just had those 3 days. The Tuesdays and the Thursdays we leave free. Thursdays we like to go kayaking. We have a day for ourselves. My wife and I, we have a day to ourselves, right? Which we've done for God knows how long. That's why we're still together. And then Tuesdays, we allocate for doing our videos. So we sit down and we say, what are we going to cook today? And we think of some recipe. What workout are we going to do today? Are there any tutorials that we need to cover in that workout? Yes, okay, well, let's write that down. And what do we want to really talk about today? Is it motivation, how to be motivated, how to stay motivated, how to gain motivation after you've lost it? We have to be, whatever it is, we write it down and we just do it. We've even stood in front of the camera and we rapped. Like, created a song. We have no idea how to rap. That's why it's so funny. No, so we actually, if you believe it, it just happens. So we have transformed ourselves, transformed all our inhibitions into things that just drive us forward. And you can all do this yourselves. You can all do it. Who thinks that they can do it right now? No? Yes? Good, I got someone. Good. No, it wasn't you, it was the person behind you. Yeah, she's in line, right? Yeah, we all can, and that's the attitude. Now, I'll tell you what, if a second person put their hand up, we have 2 people, one more than before. If 15 people put their hand up, we're starting to get half the class. If 30 people put their hand up, we've got virtually the whole class here today. And believe me, the power of numbers, strength in numbers, would motivate you because then you are like everybody else. But this beautiful young person here at the end stood up on her own and put her hand up. That shows power, confidence, etc. If everyone started doing it, the minority feel out of place, don't they? Think carefully as to what I'm talking about now. Pay attention to what I'm saying. When everyone chooses to do it and the few that don't, they feel out of place. They feel pressured to do it. You want to do it before everyone else does it, to stay ahead. In Japan, there's a principle called the Kaizen principle. It's about small and incremental change. Everything you do today, whatever you do today, before you go to sleep at night, put your head down on the pillow and just say to yourself, what did I do that was great today? One thing. And you go, wow, that's good. That's you giving yourself a pat on the back. It could be anything. It doesn't have to be anything special. It could be anything. What can I do better tomorrow? Just one small thing. It's not about the top 5 things that I'm going to do today. You know, it's not about all these crazy lists. Just one thing. One little thing. Okay, the 3 rules of life. And I challenge everyone in this room to prove me wrong. Right? Rule number 1. This is how I live my life. Do one thing at a time. Finish what you start and don't start anything you can't finish. That's rule number 1. Do one thing at a time. It's on our website. You have to write anything down. Do one thing at a time. Finish what you start and don't start anything you can't finish. What does that mean? What does it mean, guys? I want responses now.
Focus.
Angelo.
Achieve one thing at a time, yeah?
Yeah, but think about it. Do one thing at a time, finish what you start, don't start anything you can't finish. Yeah.
Well, you're not letting yourself face disappointment if you start something you don't.
Yeah. Can you hear the different answers we're getting? They're all single words or explanations. It's all good. We are all different people. But what does that mean? Do one thing at a time. We know what that means, right? Finish whatever you start. And don't start anything you can't finish.
Don't multitask.
Well, it's interesting. What it means is that don't start anything that you're never going to finish. So think before you choose. That's what it means. Do one thing at a time. Doing is actual action. Motivation, reason to act. I've got a reason now. Now I want to act. Do one thing at a time. Finish what you start. Don't start anything you can't finish. So in other words, how many of you are going to move forward today? Because if you can't finish what you start, don't even take that first step. You need to be certain of that. I'll explain it in a moment. Rule 2. Rule 2. You can do anything you want. Anything. No matter what. I don't care what it is. Good, bad or otherwise. Taboo, legal, illegal. You can do anything you want. Ready? As long as you do not hurt anyone or anything, including yourself. I'll say it again. You can choose. It's all about choice, yeah? No one's forced into doing anything. Like in this room before, I've asked people to say who can do it right now, and one person said it. So you made a choice not to say anything. One person made a choice to say something. So you choose that. If everyone did it and you were the only person that didn't, you'd be going, yeah, me too. I was putting my hand up, I was just a little bit late. So you can choose to do anything you want, anything, as long as you do not hurt anyone or anything, including yourself. That means you have to seamlessly integrate through life without causing any trouble. You can't lie or steal or cheat because you hurt people. You can't eat rubbish because you know that hurts you. You've got to do the right thing that you know is right. Because deep down in your heart, you talk yourself into things and talk yourself out of things. Think about it very carefully. You can choose, because you can choose, yes? Does anyone here not have a choice in life? Everyone has a choice, right? Who makes the choices for you? You do. I don't care what your circumstances are in life. You, at the end of the day, make your own choices. You can blame all sorts of things, but really at the end of the day, after you consider that, you made your choice. Right? You can choose to do anything without exception. Anything you want. Not like, want. A lot of people like to do things. But when you want something, it's undeniable. If I want something, I'm unstoppable. I can like a lot of things, but when I want something, you'll never stop me. I have a saying that says, how do you know what you want if you don't already have it? Think about it. How do you know what you want if you don't already have it? You had to experience it, feel something good about it, and go, yes, that's it. When you see it, you go, yes, that's it. How do you know what you want if you don't already have it? So rule number 2, you can choose to do anything you want, anything, no matter what, without any exceptions. No, I don't care what they are, as long as you do not hurt anyone or anything, including yourself. Right? That's rule 2. Rule 3, final rule of life, no excuses. That means you accept full responsibility for everything. And when I mean responsibility and liability. What is the difference? There's no right or wrong answer, guys. What's the difference between responsibility and liability? Oops, I'm going to knock this over, hits the ground, smashes. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Am I responsible for that? So responsibility is I take what? The blame. I accept that it was my fault. What is the liability part? Yeah, but if I broke it, I need to put it back the way it was. So rule number 2, you can do anything you want, anything, as long as you don't hurt anyone or anything, including yourself. Anything. Put it back the way it was. When? When? Before you die. It's got to be today. Because when you go to sleep, you're not going to know. You have to finish everything that day. That day. If you can't, the step you took was too big. The step you took was too big. What's the definition of genius? This is my definition. I do stuff, people go, oh my God, that was unbelievable. What did I do that was so genius? What is genius? What's genius, guys?
Doing something before someone else does, isn't it? Something like
Yeah, that's a great one, yeah. What's genius mean? When you see someone that's a genius. Smart? What's smart mean? Yeah, everyone uses your brain. You're smart, you use your brain. That must mean you're a genius. Yeah, it's good. But what is genius? If someone's smarter than someone? Sorry? Doing something exceptional? Everything you do is exceptional because it's you. You can do something better than anyone else because it's only you. You have your own little twist to it. So is that really what genius is? Think about it. What's genius? The woman in red. What's genius? What do you think it is?
doing what you do, Brett.
Okay, but for someone else to recognise you and say, my God, you're a genius, what is it that that person must do to be a genius compared to everyone else? Okay, listen to this, right? Genius, ready? It's very simple. See how hard an answer it is? Genius is the ability to convert the complex to the simple. Take a smaller step. If this is too big a step for you, well, take a smaller one. Genius is the ability to convert the complex to the simple. When I just brought up all these examples of all the videos we've done, etc., and I'm trying to encourage you guys to maybe go that way, or maybe not, maybe do something like that. And some of you in your head go, no, I'm no good. I can't be in front of the camera. Or look, what are people going to say? Or look at my legs. I can't be on camera like this. I've got a gut. I can't be like that. I'm going to be judged. You're talking yourself out of it, aren't you? Yes? Well, do it in your steps. Genius is the ability to convert the complex to the simple. Because if you don't, you're just sitting still. And when you sit still, you don't move. And when you don't move, you die. You need to move. I'm telling you this. Health is this. I see people all the time, and I totally transform people's lives. Totally. One-on-one, in a little group, then I do their families, and they all change. Then they go out and tell all their family, and then it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, I can't see everyone. So I have to somehow do it through video. I do a lot of personal videos. So, because I don't want to be on the internet. So I do the video and I send it. Or make it private. And that's how I treat people on the other side of the planet. You could treat someone like that. There's nothing you do that's right or wrong. It's either better or worse. There's no such thing as right or wrong. Right or wrong, it's getting cold in here, eh? Yeah. I noticed that. Yeah. That's why I keep moving. Yeah, so there's no such thing as right or wrong. There's just better and worse. If something is right or wrong, you will never move from where you are, because then you become a contradiction in life. Because if this is right, and then I do something else, at what point did I ask that? People thought, years ago that the whole, solar system revolved around the Earth. And along Copernicus, yeah, was the Greeks first, and he came second, of course. But he actually proved, but the reason Copernicus is important is because he was part of the church. And the church believed that the earth was the centre. So it changed our belief. So if he proved it wrong, what would happen? Galileo, he was imprisoned by the church for a lot of his life because he worked out something that would challenge people's beliefs and prove it wrong, which therefore threatened their life, their beliefs, and consequently they lose their power. In other words, a lot of things to lose. So what have you learned so far? Yes, you can do it. You can do anything you want.
As long as.
Yes, as long as you don't hurt anyone, anything, including yourself. And there are no excuses. Sorry?
Would that be wrong?
There's no such thing as wrong.
What is about not being able to hurt people?
Sorry, say that again?
You're saying you can do anything you want, you don't hurt people or things along the way. Why not?
Why not?
If it's not wrong, then why can't I do it?
Okay, no, I didn't say that was wrong. I said that's a choice that you can make. It's a system, it's a way. There's no such thing of it being wrong. See, there's always going to be someone that will look at both sides of it, and that's how we develop understanding. So that's a great question. So is it wrong to hurt someone? Is it wrong?
No, there is no wrong.
That's right. So therefore, I never asked that question. All I know is this: if I walk through life, if I make decisions through life, if I do things in my life that people benefit from and everyone wins, life's great. But if you hurt someone, it hurts them, the people around them, the things that they were going to do that day. let's say they're emotionally upset as a result of being hurt by a word we might have said, an action we did, or something we didn't do. It affects them and everyone else around them. One last thing. Water. Someone said before that our bodies are made up of water, a lot of it. Water, right? There's I can't remember the name exactly, but if you look it up, you'll find it. Water, I think is in Japan. I can find it for you. If you contact me through the website, I'll actually give you access to the video so you can see it, right? Water crystallizes when it's frozen. And also, if you heat it, it becomes water again. Before it becomes a vapor, right? So you heat the ice, becomes water, turns into vapor, condenses, goes cold, so it changes state. But the water is always the same. They did this experiment, which I can also pass this through to you through my website, and they got, let's say, rice. They boiled rice, 3 servings of it. They put the rice in 3 separate containers, a certain distance apart, let's say 30 centimetres. And every single day, all they asked you to do was walk up to the rice, and one of it, you wanted to show extreme love. Like try and instill a sensation of love. The second one was to ignore it altogether, just like a human, ignore people. This is about the hurt bit. And the third one, you had hate. Think of hateful feelings. At the end of a 30-day period, you saw the rice in the water, and I've done this with a plant as well because I saw their experiment. So that's interesting. I might try this. And you're all welcome to do it, right? At the end of the 30 days, what you'll find is the rice that had the hate attached to it had discoloured, and you know, basically, if you leave rice and cooked rice for a month, it's going to go off, right? The one that you showed love to, like, stayed the best. The one that you ignored deteriorated significantly, but the worst was the one that we showed hate. They did the other experiment with plants, and I did that with a plant. So I know it's hard to instill hate, but you can instill the feeling in your mind. I had 2 plants, both the same, just in 2 separate pots, and what we did was this, planted at the same time, gave them the same attention, except the only difference was every day for 30 days I'd walk up to it for like 5 seconds and just give it love. And the other one, I tried to think of a hurtful, hateful feeling. At the end of the 30 days, I took out the plants, put them in buckets of water, shook off all the soil, and then put them down like that on the ground. What do you see when you do that? The roots. There was a significant difference in the roots of the one that I showed love as opposed to the ones not. So if that's water, and we are predominantly made of water, and there's a whole science behind this which you can check it out if you want, you will see that if we instill positive thoughts, loving thoughts, we give rather than take, share rather than steal, what you will find is that people benefit. So why would you want to hate or hurt anyone? Right? So the whole concept, and we've experienced this ourselves, the whole concept of giving unconditionally, giving stuff for free. You can still charge your clients, you all have to eat, right? Of course, I'm saying, but if you just approach this slightly different, you will find that everyone wins and you get something for it. So for example, in this article that was written on us, we were chosen out of every single person. So they went to Google Australia and they said, who best represents the internet in Australia? Who best represents television? Who best represents printed media? Well, they chose us for internet, right? And it says, that's a photo of us, right? Now this book and the data in it is purchased by companies that are involved in media. And they use the data to plan for the future, for the next 5 years. So this is 2012, this year, to 2016. And they'll live off this for the next 5 years. And in 2016, they're going to do it again and predict the next 5 years. And this is what they say to us. So we don't tell them this stuff. This is how they see us, right? Con and Nikki Mitropoulos are Australian YouTube stars. right, with a largely international audience. Now, in Australia, you probably don't know us because we don't use the internet as much. Our internet's too slow here. But as of right now, I at home have a thing called Cable 3. Now, Cable 3 gives me an upload speed just fast enough that I can do what Jeff's doing here today in real time, which we will be doing. So beginning, let's say January 2013, I'll be having a video which will live stream to the people that follow me throughout the planet. You could do that as well. So instead of having to create a video and then upload it to YouTube and then leave it there for people to play, Jeff could have done this today at my place, because I have it, live. So imagine all you people here watching it. Well, how about the others who are in another country? They could watch it too, in real time, and interact. Do you think that's going to happen to your television shortly? You'll be able to watch a program, what is it, Dancing with the Stars, or what's that new, X Factor, or whatever it is, and you'll be able to interact with the people and the other audience members in real time on TV. Think of Facebook. You post something, people respond to it, you comment on it, it creates interest, and it just grows and grows and grows. That's where it's going. But what they say here, because of what we've done, their fitness and healthy living videos have received millions of views. In the next 12 months, Con and Nikki intend to give up their day jobs and focus on the YouTube video business full time. Now, we didn't say that, but it's inevitable that they think that that's what we're going to do. I love what I do. So we'll always help people face to face, but we've now created a system where we give stuff away for free that contributes back to us financially. And we do what we love, so it's untiring. I enjoy going there every single day. I love all the people that I work with, right? And how can that be bad? So I don't work. Did you understand? Yes, I do stuff and I get financial return for it, but it's not work. So I want you to just have a think about what you guys do every single day, right? Think about, how can I just do one thing slightly different and maybe make a video? Or if not a video, maybe create a website, and on the website, write one blog post. So something you did today that was special, or something that you learned. I used the foam roller today and I found it very, very beneficial for my tibialis anterior muscle, which happens to be attached to this foot that has 33 joints and no muscles, which contributes predominantly to every ailment we have in our body, which is what we learned today. Yes? You learned that. Now, think of all the people that watch you. One person tells 10. One of those 10 might tell one other person, and that's how it grows. And let's say everyone in this room did that. Can you see how the information travels? Yeah? I'll say one more thing. Have you ever heard of a random number generator? It's like there's a chip called a 555 chip. And what a 555 chip does on a PCB board, on a computer board, it gives a number. Just out of the blue, just a timer. And the random number generator will give you a 1 or a 0. Because in binary code, computers only understand 1 or 0. And the combination and the sequence of those 1s and 0s create the words that we use, the letters that we type into the computer. But if you broke it all down to its simplest, minutest form, it's a 1 and a 0. So what they've done is put random number generators in like a lead box, for example. So it can't be affected by any radiation or any influence at all whatsoever. And then they get a group of people to meditate and try and concentrate to produce more 1s than 0s. Right? So they do that, and lo and behold, there is a significant increase, like 10%, let's say. Interesting. Let's move that thing out of this room and let's put it in a university in the UK. And then a group of people in New York will now sit down and concentrate on trying to build, trying to influence the outcome of the ones and zeros produced by this random number generator. And it worked. Interesting. So they went one step further. They installed these, and if you look them up, you'll find them in universities throughout the world. And what they've also found, they're always running. Every day they're producing numbers. They run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And at the end of all that time, what you'll find is the numbers are calculated. And generally speaking, all the numbers seem to be basically the same. It's just as many ones as there are zeros, except when something special happens. When Princess Diana died, 9/11, what they found was this huge spike around those cataclysmic events. Japan, did anyone know that we had another tsunami yesterday? Right? But it wasn't as big an impact, was it? Because it's all news, right? But still, if you check the random number generators, if enough people know, the feeling that we exert seems to somehow, we're all collectively thinking about the same thing. So if a lot of people seem to think about the same thing, it affects the outcome. Interesting, isn't it? And when you apply that to water, which is what your body's predominantly made up of, guess what? You can change you. And if we talked about hydration before. What was if we jump around a little bit, we can take water out of the body, move it to the soft tissue, and then we don't have these ailments. What we do every single day is simply we interrupt our body's ability to heal. And I've said heaps of things today, but it all points to the one thing. Our bodies heal themselves. We don't know when we're going to die. We don't know what's going to happen to us. But we do know this. If you are happy, you do good things, you're going to have a better day. Your body's going to feel better. Your attitude's going to feel better. The people you come across are going to feel better. And that overall ends up in being a great experience. So just so I can summarise, by doing what we've done, has resulted in nothing but things being positive. And people feel good about coming to us. People feel good about speaking to us. People feel good about sharing our stuff. And that has resulted in nothing but good things, which gives us more pleasure in doing what we're doing because we're always getting pats on the back. So why would we not do it? But if we're getting slaps in the face and obstacles all the time, well then what we're doing doesn't work. So do one thing at a time. Whatever it is that you choose to do today, do one thing at a time. Finish whatever it is that you choose to start. And do not start anything you can't finish. So as I said to you before, if you can't finish something, the step you took is too big. So use your genius, convert the complex to the simple. Break it up into steps that you can handle. That means then you'll find something that you can start and also finish. Rule 2, you can choose to do anything you want, anything at all, as long as you don't hurt anyone or anything, including yourself. Because if you do that, everything's going to be positive, right? Not negative. And the third thing is no excuses. So if I was to knock this over and it hits the ground and breaks, I accept responsibility, but I need to take it one step further, and that step was to put it back the way it was. So think carefully about what we do. So that is what we do in a nutshell, basically. It could be a video on workouts, could be a video on recipes. That's the area that we chose to take. You can use other areas. And we've been interviewed because of this unique thing. Like, people just don't get it. They go, how can you do that and not want money for it? Because they just don't get it. You limit yourself. So instead of doing a video tomorrow on something related to your work, do something for someone else for nothing. But don't tell them. So I'm sure there's jobs at home. Go do it for someone. They see it already done. Now you know that you did something great for someone. How good does that make you feel? And what you'll find over time, as you continue to do that, you instill a sense of happiness around people, and then they become motivated to do good things. Because someone did something good for me. So you can start there. And then before you know it, you might look at what you do in your life, and if you are passionate about what you do, you might choose to share it in another way. Our way was simply doing videos, which are slowly changing the planet. We've now partnered with organisations called YouTube, Dailymotion, and heaps of others. We've now also been partnered by another YouTube partner. So, like, YouTube is a video broadcasting website. But within that too, there are networks. One of the networks is called Style Me Fit. It's like a TV station. Like on TV, we've got Channel 10, Channel 9, Channel 7. They're networks within this thing called television. Well, YouTube is going that way. And you've all got smart TVs, and they're all coming. That's going to come into your house soon. And the free-to-air TV will be less and less and less. And the internet and the interactivity will be greater. And when people are watching, you know, a TV program and there happens to be an ad relative to, you know, massage or, you know, whatever it is that you guys do in your own little area, it might pop up in your local area and it might be referring to you because you took an ad out through, you know, Google AdWords. And if you do all the things that I say, like create a video, create a website, contribute more, it will bubble up. And it's not just what I've done. If you understand what Google has done, they're following this. Remember, YouTube is run by young people. Facebook is run by young people. And everyone's starting to develop this sort of attitude to life where let's do something good rather than something bad. Why can't we all benefit rather than someone suffer? So we've got these poor people working in a mine in India to produce, you know, lithium so we can make a battery so we can run our phones. There's a cost all the way through. How about if we found a way that was easier? So just use that sort of thinking. So how does that sound? So what have you learned today? Finishing off, what have you learned today? Not just through me, but through everyone else. What have you learned? Like, I know the things that I talk about are a little bit touchy at times, but what have you learned? Nothing or something? Something. Do you think you can apply some of the things that you learned today? If you're having trouble applying some of the things that you learned today, what one thing can you do so you can apply them? Smaller steps. Yeah? And you might choose to follow our path, which works. The system works. And if you check out how we do our stuff on our videos, you'll see we might do a workout video that runs for 18 minutes, and we cut it down to 2.5 minutes. Because people don't want to be told. Show them. Don't tell them. Yeah, at the moment, in this environment, I'm telling you, because that's how this is designed. But showing people, get straight to the point, hit the button right on the head, and you'll find you'll create people that really want to see what what you have to offer. If they don't, they'll simply tick away. If they do, they'll stay. So I'm Mitropoulos. Thank you very much for listening to my little talk today. What we'd like to do too is, can we take a few...